Welcome into the DNVR Orange and Blue, a weekly breakdown presented by Canyon Bakehouse. Canyon Bakehouse makes delicious, certified gluten-free breads, bagels, English muffins, and other baked goods right here in Colorado. Their gluten, dairy, nut, and soy-free products make it easy for families to enjoy the taste and texture of fresh bread so everyone can love bread again. Find them at any major grocery store in the freezer or fresh bread aisle and visit canyonglutenfree.com to grab a coupon. I'm Allie Monroy, and with me today, as always, is DNVR Broncos beat writer Ryan Koenigsberg. Now, we've got a lot of news to talk about this week.
Do we?
I mean, we do.
Okay, all right.
With the NFL trade, I guess the NFL trade deadline, not much happened for the Broncos. Let's start with that. What does that mean for this team not having traded Chris Harris Jr., Derek Wolfe, or even Von Miller?
Well, I never felt confident about anyone but Sanders being on their way out. But once Flacco went down and, you really saw the wheels come off, and there's no way anyone even in that organization can deny that the wheels aren't off, you thought maybe there was a better chance. For me, what it means is that they believe they have a chance to keep Chris around, at least Chris. Obviously, Von's under contract. He was probably never getting traded.
Yeah, it was rumored, though.
Yeah, he probably was never getting traded. Derek Wolfe, another one, who they could probably keep around at a pretty reasonable price, unlike Chris, who they're definitely going to have to back up the Brinks trucks for. But I think this means there is some optimism in the building that they can get a deal done with Chris, and if they can, I encourage that 100%.
Like you said, Joe Flacco went down. It was announced by Vic Fangio that he is not playing this week against the Browns. He has a herniated disc in his neck, which means it's the Brandon Allen era.
The who now?
Who is he? Ryan, for the folks who may not know who Brandon Allen is, who is he?
He's a journeyman. He's been in the league for 4 years. He went to Arkansas, had a pretty solid career there, put up a lot of points, scored a lot of touchdowns. Hasn't been very impressive in his preseason action, though he does have the attributes that the Broncos look for in a quarterback that can run this offense, a big arm, can run the bootleg a little bit, move a little bit. So he is as unknown as maybe any person to ever start a football game for the Broncos.
What were those stats, those 6 touchdowns to 11 interceptions?
That would be the case of his preseason numbers.
That's not good.
That is not good.
All right, well, how do you think he's going to do against this Browns defense?
Man, I so badly wish that they would have handled this Drew Lock situation right and he was starting this week, because I truly believe it could not be a better situation for Brandon Allen. Now, you're at home. The Browns are so dysfunctional. Yeah. And you are, the one thing that isn't good for Brandon Allen is that you've got Garrett Bowles matched up with Myles Garrett on the other side. It's not a good Garrett on Garrett matchup. With that being said, I think they have a really good chance. I have this weird feeling that Brandon Allen, there's no pressure on him. No one expects anything from him. No one even knows who he is. There's going to be people who show up at the stadium and they're like, who's starting now? So I have a weird feeling that he might perform better than most people think.
Is this going to be part of your bold predictions, or did those die when the Broncos died against the Chiefs?
How dare you bring those up at a time like this? The bold predictions are dead.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Maybe they'll come back later, though.
Maybe. All right, well, how do you think this defense is going to do against the Browns offense with Baker Mayfield?
It's so weird. You look at this Browns offense and you're like, oh, my God, Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham, Nick Chubb, Baker Mayfield. These guys must be, going crazy out there.
Yep.
And they have been completely out of sorts the entire season. And it mostly comes back to their offensive line, which is great news for the Broncos because they are a pass rush focused team. So I think this thing is going to be just a slog out there. You already saw 15-12. That was 27 total points last week, 15-13, 28 total points last week. That's a good place to set the bar, and I don't know if they're going to reach the bar.
With the comments that Joe Flacco made after that game, do you expect the offense to have a little more juice?
No.
Or
how could they?
Joe
how are you
Flacco was upset that they weren't making plays on downs when you want to win the game. What do they have to lose now at this point in the season? Do you think they're going to have that type of mentality?
I think there's a chance that if they are in a short down and distance, or the 4th down and a chance to end the game, I think there is a chance they would go for it. But there's no way that Rich Scangarello and company are going to get more aggressive with a guy making his first ever start at quarterback. I think they're going to get less aggressive. You're going to see everything dialed back even more.
Broncos fans love to hear that about their offense.
Like I said, it's going to be, I mean, like I joked with someone the other day, like this thing might go to overtime at 9-9.
Wow.
Yeah, so I don't think they're going to dial things up, that's for sure.
All right, with that, do you have a score prediction?
12-9 in overtime.
Oh,
there you go.
You're actually saying they're going to go into overtime.
I'm gonna call that 12-9 in overtime.
All right, well, I don't know how interesting this game is going to be.
Oh,
but
I didn't pick a winner.
Oh, yeah.
12. I should have just stayed because then I didn't have to marry myself.
You would have won.
I'll go 12-9 Browns.
Okay. All right. Well, like I was saying, I don't know how interesting this game is going to be, but we are going to be having a blast at the tailgate that we partner with Sons of Mile High. Great food, great beer, and of course, Ryan, Andrew Mason, and Zach Stevens will be there talking to you guys all about football, and we'll have the rest of the DNVR fam. So be sure to stop by Lot N. For Ryan Koenigsberg, I'm Allie Monroy, DNVR.